sadhu, sadhu. Dhamma greetings to you all and very good morning. To begin with, let's pay our respect to our teacher, who is the Lord Buddha, the Worthy One, the Enlightened One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. You are all very welcome to our very first session of Prince Retreat 2025. Perhaps as you already noticed, our topic today is finding wisdom in nature. Before that, I think there are a couple of background scene settings we have to ensure. The first is today is Sunday morning and very early in the morning perhaps to some people. The second kind of new experiment to reboost energy and vitality of Sunday morning. And thirdly, the topic today, finding wisdom in nature. Two key terms to me, wisdom and nature. Where to find? And perhaps I could say wisdom and nature are deeply intertwined with each other. They are nowhere to be found other than in each of yourself, your fathom, long body and mind. So however, I was wondering what your thoughts are regarding Sunday morning, what you are normally supposed to do Sunday morning after hectic and frantic week. People tend to get relaxed a bit, maybe with sleeping or reading a book or grabbing a cup of tea maybe. What are you doing normally Sunday morning? Sleeping or reading, grabbing a cup of tea with your lovely members of family maybe? What do you do? Okay, watching TV, television, your preferred maybe the series. Can you tell me what the whole purpose is? Kind of make a frank diversion from your week, the lasting week. So you're kind of trying to get relaxed for a while, a little bit, to get calm and peace within. So we normally do certain things to find calm and peace. Nevertheless, today what we are doing here is kind of making an experiment to find calm and peace in a more meaningful way, let's say in a more mindful or insightful way, to get rid of your tiredness perhaps, your early things around you, and keeping aside everything, we just try to focus on one little thing, then to go into detail, the more authentic nature of your life. That's what we are up to. So the nature of mind, nature of consciousness is very easy to be trapped in the clutches of all psychological laziness, restlessness and worry, all kind of very downgraded things. It is very easy to do, but when it comes to our own consciousness, to make it more useful, to more meaningful, it's a hardship. If I ask you what is the easiest way to do, just sitting on the grounds and listening to me, but I say, oh, just sleeping on your bed and grabbing a cup of tea with your family and chatting with each other, or gossip, or anything else? What is more easier? Staying at home or coming to here? It's of course staying at home and grabbing a cup of tea and talking with each other. That's how people tend to find their own way. So today I'm trying to make an experiment for your own sake. Indeed, in the vicinity of wisdom and nature, there are plenty of ways in which we can find the meaningfulness and the full of joy and peace within us. Just you need to notice it. Just you need to recognize it, the opportunities by which we are surrounded by. There are plenty of opportunities around us, maybe near and far, but alas and Allah, we are not very much aware of that. So for this reason, as for the very first session of our Rains Retreat, I thought it's worth discussing wisdom and nature. What is wisdom and what's nature? These are not kind of alienated concepts at all. Wisdom has a far-reaching debate since the origin of human civilization, not only in the East but in the West as well. What is wisdom to you? Anyone? What is wisdom? Asel? Yes, your way. Yeah. Yeah, really, that's a good point, because in the West, they have a different way of interpreting wisdom. In terms of Aristotelian discourse, they say wisdom simply means the common sense, the commonsensical understanding, the way you do, the way you live, the way you understand certain things in life, as you say. So that is another way of defining wisdom. However, what is the wisdom that we are talking about? Is it still the same, or do you think it's different? It's a little different there, or the same? What's it? Wisdom? What do you think? Yeah, very good. There are some differences. That means there are some dynamics in terms of human thought and intellect. Wisdom, in our own context, we say to understand the conditioned and unconditioned nature of the world. Conditioned and unconditioned nature of the world. Then, first and foremost, we need to clarify what condition is and what unconditioned is. Conditioned and unconditioned. What's conditioned? What's conditioned? We are all conditioned, including our body and mind. They're all sentient creatures around us. Why? Why? You know, there is a well-known Buddhist saying, all compounded things are impermanent. If something is impermanent, it causes suffering. If something leads you to suffering, sorrow, and pain, there is no eternal self. That's absent of self. Impermanent, suffering, and absent of self. The three characteristics of the conditional nature. So if you just look around you, including your mind and body, then if you can notice the certain elements of impermanence or uncertainty and plus suffering, these are conditioned. So from your head to bottom, even your hair, in comparison with your early childhood, do you think you are still the same with your childhood? When you look at these brilliant children, at their childhood, can you imagine our own childhood, how we were before? But now, what happened to us? We are fading away day by day, willingly or unwillingly, you see. Just like leaves and the flowers around us. We can see the perfection of flowers, especially during the summer or maybe spring. The blooming trees all around us. But as the time passed, you can see the same flower is fading away. The color is gone. The petals are falling away. But some time ago, it was blooming. You see, it was a blossom. But sadly, we have to see the way it's being faded away. It's being passed away. So whatever rises passes away. That is the way to understand the conditioned nature of life. So within this context, wisdom frankly means that to understand the conditioned nature of our life. Delve into your own thoughts. Maybe the very first moment you got up from bed today, what kind of thoughts you had, or motivation or inspiration. But so far, everything has been changed. The time you have come down here, now you are sharing wisdom with me, everything has changed. That's how the conditions are working out. Sometimes they are treating with pleasure, joy, and at the same time, they are treating with horror, terror, pain, and sorrow. That's how it is. Another example, we cannot predict everything at any measure to the degree of certainty, because the day we set up this outdoor mindfulness session, the weather said, oh, it is brilliant, it is sunshine, it is stunning sun on the morning. So then we decided, oh, this day is perfect and ideal for the outdoor session. But today, when we look at weather, you can see how cloudy it is. You see how dark it is. But the day we decided the day to conduct the session, it was stunning. You see the difference, the prediction, the weather forecast. It itself is uncertain. In practice, sometimes I used to think, oh, weather is a good meditative object to witness the nature of impermanence and uncertainty. So it's a bit cold and cloudy, clumsy. However, what I'm trying to tell you, wisdom is to see this conditioned nature of our life. Then that gives rise to another question. It is kind of attainment or achievement in life, but it's not. It's not something to be found, but it is something to be noticed. It is something to be recognized with your bare awareness, with your momentary mindfulness. That's you need to do. That's you need to practice. Many people and teachers are willingly saying that, oh, you need to attain such and such. You need to achieve such a status of deep mind. But that's rather than saying an attainment of achievement within you, it is kind of noticing and well spotting, because it's already here. The problem is that it's obscure, it's hidden, it's kind of esoteric, to the reason that we are defiled by our own conscious thoughts, maybe lust, desire, hatred, and animosity, and ignorance, and delusion and such and such. Due to defilements, we have been defiled. For this reason, we cannot see that. We cannot notice it. We need to see this nature. Then that's wisdom. Then what is unconditioned? In our context, we say unconditioned simply means liberation or nibbana, the extinguishment of all the elements of defilements, the raga, dosa, moha. So that's unconditioned, because there are no any condition to be found. But there are plentiful conditions within us, either wholesome or unwholesome way, either skillful or unskillful way. It's still, you see, another example. Once you heard a sermon or teaching, or you feel a bit of calmness, right? A bit of peacefulness. But after a while, you are again up to your day-to-day routine, isn't it, Asel? For example, when you talk to me and everyone, then we discussed many things. Then we know, oh, this is wrong, this is right? And this is bad, this is good. We have the right understanding. But when we move on, perhaps at home or at school, with our own friends, with our own neighbors, but there are certain times that we encounter all the badness, right? All the cruelness, all the guilty thoughts within us. Why? That's very normal, even me. Because we have some forms of knowledge, one way or another. Oh, this is good, this is bad. We all know the nature of uncertainty and impermanence and suffering, perhaps the absence of self. We all know to some degree. But there is a failure when it comes to understand it in your real life, in your actual life. How to absorb into that, how to be perfect in your real life. That's the problem. Have anyone encountered that problem? Personally, myself, I have encountered several times. Though I know the Dhamma, there are some moments we need to figure out very carefully, because it doesn't matter how much you know the Dhamma, but it matters how much you practice it, how far you can succeed with it, how far you can experience with no failure. So, because that everything is flowing just like a flux, or we say just like a stream. So that's why it's a conditioned life. Mindfulness is a method, it's a technique to see that, to notice that, to slow down a bit, step down and just see what I am up to, what I am doing right now. I know we cannot gain this at a canter. It takes quite a bit of practice. So I also know that we cannot see this in the blink of an eye. We need some time. Then, therefore, I used to say that the more we practice, the more we see it. The less we practice, the less we see it. So practice is the key to everything. Again, back to Asel's point, the general way of understanding life, that is very much Aristotelian and the Western context of understanding what wisdom is. Some times ago, during my time back at the university, when I was doing Western philosophy, I had heating debates with my professors, because the wisdom and knowledge, they used to say wisdom is part of knowledge. But I say it thoroughly, and I point out that wisdom is drastically different from the knowledge. The Western understanding of knowledge and wisdom are two different human intellects. So we need to go beyond or step ahead with our general understanding. we need to notice in depth what's happening here, what's going on here. I think personally, that's where nature comes into play. Nature to me, is the best way to find wisdom. Where is nature? What's nature? What do you think? What's nature and where is it? What and where? Huh? Yes? Brilliant, fantastic. So that's very true. Nature itself consists of everything, either sentient or non-sentient creatures all around us. All the living and unliving creatures, we are here, we can see how beautiful they are. But when you enjoy the beauty and calmness through the blooming flowers and the breeze, the going across your body, the calming and soothing way that we feel right now, they are all the matters of condition. But at the moment, we cannot, perhaps, if you haven't practiced in depth, you cannot see that. We just enjoy it. So I believe that nature is paving the way for ourselves to see that. But unfortunately, what's happening all the time, we are falling in the trap of it. Instead of seeing it, understanding it, we are falling in the clutches of nature. We are being deluded by the beauty of nature, the calmness and peacefulness of nature. Conversely, I would say we need to carve out a way to see the depth of our life, the conditioned nature of our life through nature. Because to me, nature is more familiar than anything else. Just look at, for example, when I worship the Buddha, when I do my chanting early morning and the evening, I can see when I offer the flowers the very first day, they are like a pot of joy and peace. You see, I can see that though they are unsentient creatures, still I can see that, I can feel that, like just human beings. They are laughing at me, they are smiling with me, like the blossoming flowers. But 2-3 days after, I can see, oh, they are fading away. They are like just dying. They are like getting sick. The petals are falling away. Then I feel sadness. Then at the same time, I am trying to realize that, oh, there is no gulf difference between the nature of flower and myself. The same thing is happening in different ways, just like a flower. Even like the sun today. This morning it was quite gloomy and dark, but now the sun is coming out of the sky soon, and then end of the day the sun is going out again. So you can see how everything is moving. Everything has a transitional pulse. Everything is changing. So we are living in a changing world. So we cannot stick into one fundamental thing, thinking, oh, that's inert, that is static in itself. No, we cannot. If we think like our life is just like the blue sky, then our conditioned nature is like the flowing clouds. Our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, the certain incidents that we experience, just like the clouds, they're always, floating here and there. But the sky is itself inert, we could say, to some degree of allegory and metaphorism. But I'm trying to say, all in all, wisdom is here and now. Nature is also here and now, because there are no kind of two things, but they are kind of the two aspects of the same coin. So the two sides of the same coin. If you see one side, then you could see perhaps the next slide. So once you see one side, then that leads you to see the next side. If you see the nature as it is, not the way as the contaminated eyes, but the way through your pure, authentic, and calm and peaceful eyes, at the next moment you will see the wisdom. You will see and notice the conditioned nature of your mind and consciousness. If you see first the conscious nature of your mind, the conscious nature, the conditioned nature of your life, at the next moment you see in a similar vein how the nature is as it is. So nature and wisdom, they are very close with each other. They are associated with each other. To make a concluding remark, finding wisdom in nature, I believe that according to my practice, the more you can come back in, go back in, you see what is unnoticed, what is unseen this far. If you can see what is unseen, then that's path to wisdom. Then at the same time, if you could perhaps be more familiar, more friendly with nature, all dynamics, all changing moments of nature, the way flowers bloom up, the way petals are falling apart, the trees coming up, then finally they are passing away, all the leaves and the branches, the every moment, the ever changing seconds and milliseconds in nature, then you will see, oh, that's very much similar to my life. So everything is equivalent to my ultimate nature of life. So then you could see, oh, there is no way to think, oh, this is me, oh, this is mine, oh, this is myself. Because there is no time. There is no element to grasp. This is me, this is my, oh, this is myself. Why? It has already passed away, isn't it? Another example. Now you have sat down here for a while. Can you see who were you a moment ago? It has already gone. Now you are a different mode and with different elements. Then in the next moment, you are different, but not the same. There are no way to grasp and holding on to one eternal element. Everything is changing. Don't think, oh, this is me, or this is mine, or this is myself, or don't be too perfect, don't be too sane. Just be relaxed and just be as you are. So just see as they are. Just see the things as they are, not defiled and any kind of unauthentic ways that you see.